Let's talk about this. This is a video by Tommy NFG called The TikTok Music Artist Effect. I started watching this earlier today and I thought, this is good. We need to react to this on stream. So I saved it for all of you guys because I care so deeply about you that I wanted to experience this special moment with you, my internet friends, together. So what I saw so far, you know, people criticize TikTok a lot, especially like the rock boomers want to say that TikTok is terrible and blah, blah, blah. I made a whole video about this, about how TikTok is quote unquote ruining music. And basically my takeaway there was that in general, I think TikTok is a great way for artists to get discovered, but it does have some negative side effects, which is some of what he talks about in this video. So although in general, I am pro TikTok, or just kind of pro technology in general, he does make some good points in here that I thought would be worth checking out. So let's check it out. But before we go any further, this is the part where I ask you to follow me on Twitch. I am streaming twice a week from 4 to 7 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and think of it like hanging out at Denny's after a show. Except you are with a couple hundred of your best friends. Check it out at the link in the description of this video, and I hope to see you there. Let's check it out.
Something recently the past couple of days. While doing my daily routine of nothing I contribute to society as a content creator, like seriously, we really don't do anything, and scrolling on TikTok for hours, I noticed that there's one goal a lot of kids share in our generation. The most smart, clever, and brilliant generation known as Gen Z.
You know what state Missouri is in?
Nope.
What country?
Do you know what state Missouri is in? Good question. What continent is Europe on? I don't know. My father is from Europe, and I didn't know what continent Europe was on until like 6 months ago. So I don't know. Maybe the Gen Xers are no better.
Where did America get their independence from?
I don't know, France.
Me personally, I don't want to be with anybody who's not biologically born a woman.
You cannot be fucking biologically born a woman.
Anyways, I was gonna say fame. Most people when growing up nowadays want some type of fame in the internet space, and that's especially including anyone in Gen Z. Whether that's through being a content.
Back in my day, we wanted to become YouTubers. Not like you kids these days that want to be TikTokers, damn it. What happened to the dream of being a YouTuber? YouTube isn't good enough for you. You got to be a TikToker. You kids these days, you're screwed up priorities.
Creator, musician, actor, etc. And honestly, I can't really blame a lot of kids for wanting to be one. You get tons of money, get tons of love and support, basically can pull anyone you want. And if you're a famous Minecraft YouTuber, have as many underage fans to your disposal as you want. But the main one we're gonna focus on in this video is being a music artist. Out of all of the options I mentioned before, the hardest one to actually achieve is being a successful music artist. You'll have a better chance of being a big content creator, a big actor compared to being a big music artist. Getting your music out there.
I would say that's true. I mean, I guess depending on how you want to look at big and what, you know, music artist means, but it's pretty true. I mean, there are more successful YouTubers making six figures than there are musicians, I would say. So it's probably true that the odds are better you can be a creator than a musician.
First of all, it's not easy itself. And on top of that, having people constantly listen to it is not easy at all. But that all changed after a certain app blew up. An app focused on consuming your entire lifestyle and making you nothing but a carbon copy of the person next to you, repeating the same garbage memes and trends started to blow up. And if you can't tell what I'm talking about TikTok. I feel like when TikTok blew up, everything in the media...
I mean, I feel like every app, like every generation has their app that's that. I mean, this is the same thing people said about Facebook. It's the same thing people said about MySpace. People said the same thing about Instagram. So I do think that there is something maybe especially kind of addicting about TikTok. But generally speaking, I think, you know, you hear the same conversation every 5 years or something with like a new app. But he's not wrong.
Landscape kind of changed. We traveled to a different multiverse of horrible people to gather on a single app. But the one thing it did help in is in blowing up people completely randomly. Whether it be content creators like I mentioned before, and also people striving for a music career. All it takes now is for one of your songs to blow up on TikTok, and you're basically set for your entire music career. But it's kind of turning out that this has actually not been a good thing for people. If you're a
yeah, exactly. So I feel like in general, it's a case of like easy come, easy go. Yeah, it's easier than ever to blow up on TikTok. But how sticky are the fans that you get? You know, so if you get a viral TikTok that gets 1 million views in a week, that doesn't mean you have 1 million fans, right? Whereas in the past, in the old school system, where you had to like press CDs and go on tour and stuff like that, if you sold 1 million CDs, you probably really did have a million fans. That is no longer true. Now, whether that's good or bad is sort of a matter of opinion, but I think there's kind of this inherent trade-off between how easy it is to blow up versus how like sustainable your career is.
Music artists and blow up on TikTok, it's leading to this sort of disrespectful term people call music artists. They call them the quote-unquote TikTok artists.
By the way, I also like that he's saying music artist, not musician. I like this. I'm a music artist. I'm a YouTube artist. Like when they started calling the people at Subway sandwich artists. So I like music artist. I'm going to use that one.
For reference, some people in this category include Doja Cat, Lil Nas X, Steve Lacy, Yeet, Pink Panthers, Cochise, 24K Golden, and Kid Laroi. And the term itself just pretty much means what it says. Someone who majorly got big off a song on TikTok blowing up. And it's not like
Lil Nas X for sure is like the template for like someone who became a star on TikTok. But did the Kid Laroi, I feel like he was already big because of being associated with Juice WRLD before he ever blew up on TikTok, but maybe I'm wrong.
they weren't really doing good before TikTok. But let's just be for real, like TikTok made some of these artists careers. And at first glance, it seems—
Yeah, this is true. It's why a lot of these new generation artists will have 5 million followers on Instagram, but can't fill a 1,000 cap room. I saw the same thing with MySpace a million times too. So it is true.
It's like a good thing to a lot of music artists. I mean, it's an easier chance to get your music out to an audience, right? You don't have to hand out your mixtape to random people on the street like they used to in the 90s and shit. Just post it on TikTok and people will use your song. But there's been a
Shout out to all the people handing out CDs and line at Warped Tour.
problem with this recently happening. You see, when your song blows up on TikTok and goes completely viral out of the blue, it's exposed to millions of people at a rapid rate. And by rapid, I mean faster than a switch on a rocket launcher type shit. We've honestly never in human history ever had a way to do this before TikTok.
This is true.
You did have YouTube.
This is
and
true.
other—
Yeah, so there are other platforms that help people blow up, but nothing like TikTok. We've never seen any platform that could blow you up as quickly as TikTok.
platforms to post your song that could go viral, but on TikTok it's completely different. And let me give you guys an example. Doja Cat's song Say So. Now if you were on TikTok at the time when this song was blowing up and every white bitch was doing the same dance to the song, you would know that it was literally everywhere on TikTok. The song has 10.4 million videos made to it alone, meaning that
God.
not only have 10.4 million—
That's not 10 million views. That is 10 million videos made with a song. There's probably fucking 100 of those videos that have well over 1 million views. Like, the reach on TikTok is insane.
people listen to this, but those people made videos for other people to watch using the song. And some of those videos themselves have millions of likes and views
Exactly.
alone. And that's what I mean when I said it wasn't possible, because on YouTube, you couldn't really do that. And no matter
Yep.
what, you couldn't really avoid not listening to the song at least once on TikTok. And it's the exact same thing for any other songs that blow up on TikTok. It gets played over and over again so much that it just makes careers for some of these people. But the main problem that happens for all of these songs is the exact same thing. When a song plays on a TikTok video, it's not like you're listening to the whole thing. No one's gonna sit there and make a 3-minute TikTok dance to your song. On TikTok, it's always going to be a certain part of the song people always hear. It could be the first verse.
Because remember, TikTok, as great as it is for music discovery, it's a video sharing app, right? The music is not the main attraction. The video is the main attraction, and it always will be. That's something that maybe a lot of people like to forget.
Verse, second verse, outro, it doesn't really matter. Basically, any part of the song could be used. So what happens is people usually get that certain part of the song ingrained into their mind. I mean, when I'm hearing the same Yeet song for the 10th time that day, I'm only going to remember the part that's being played. The brain remembers what it hears constantly.
I saw a graphic that somebody shared. He mentioned Yeet, that Yeet, who was nominated for a Grammy for the best new artist, had like 1.8 billion streams or something. Yeet had more streams than all the other nominees combined.
That's when your song pretty much just ends up being a quote-unquote TikTok song, because people just remember one part of the song that's played over and over again. To be honest, it wouldn't be that bad if these artists didn't hold any concerts, but a music artist not holding concerts is like a YouTuber expecting to get paid from not making videos. And some of these concerts are becoming so embarrassing. The example I'm gonna use here is Steve Lacy. So if you don't know who Steve Lacy is, his songs have been exploding insanely due to TikTok. It's like the same thing that happened with Doja Cat in 2020. Now I can't play the song here for obvious reasons. Susan's copyright team is watching me in the corner with a red dot pointing to my head. But just search up Steve Lacy Bad Habit and
I'll search it right now, just so everyone can hear it. Here's the song, 41 million views in 4 months. Not good in my opinion, but shout out to him.
And I guarantee you've heard the song at least once on TikTok. Anyways, in the past couple of days, Steve Lacy has been going viral for something that's been happening at his concerts. And it's honestly just so saddening to watch. Pretty much there's been multiple times where he's performed the song Bad Habit at his concerts, which is that TikTok song I'm talking about. And for the first couple seconds of the song, everything is going pretty smooth. The whole crowd is singing along and seems to know every word for word and bar for bar. But after the first verse of the song ends, it just goes completely dead silent in the crowd and no one is singing along. You would honestly think they came to the wrong concert or something. An update on this, apparently it's not copyright, so I'm about to play the footage next and just prepare. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
This is rough.
The way nobody sang the next verse embarrassing as.
I mean, it's literally, they're singing every word and then just nothing, because they literally only know the song from TikTok. And I'm not putting them down for that. Like, they're not obligated to know the whole song, but from his perspective, like, that's got to be so demoralizing.
Like, bro just stands there like, all right, y'all, the joke is up. You can keep singing along. We got like 10 other songs from the album to perform, so, you know.
That nobody's gonna know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
There's always such a huge noticeable difference when the song is popular on TikTok and the crowd goes crazy. But when it's a less popular song on TikTok, they act like they never met this nigga and never heard any of his songs. And if it's—
Now, again, he's calling this the TikTok music artist effect, but I've seen this happen many times before. For example, you remember how popular millionaires were on MySpace, right? Like, Melissa had like hundreds of thousands of followers at the time, which, you know, back then on MySpace, that was a lot of people. And then I saw them play Warped Tour and there were like maybe 50 people watching them. I was like, oh, I was expecting this to be huge. And that's when I realized that online fandom does not equal real fandom. It does not equal people going to your shows. Saw the same thing with a lot of the bands that did the Punk Goes Pop covers. For example, Miss May I, they covered Swing by Savage. And people would just go off for that song. They loved it. Everybody knew it. And then the other songs, like, yeah, you know, people liked them. But really, people wanted them to hear the Punk Goes Pop song. So I think there's always been these opportunities for artists to get super big using some sort of like viral, like growth hack kind of thing. But does that turn into an actual sustainable career or fan base is the question.
Remember when I mentioned earlier that only a certain part of a song gets big on TikTok? That is exactly what happened to Steve Lacy. The first part of the song is always what plays on TikTok. So in these so-called fans' minds, and calling them fans is honestly an overstatement, they come to the concert knowing one part of the—
It's like Pierce the Veil and King for a Day. Well, it might be, but the thing with Pierce the Veil is that they were a band for like almost 20 years before they got big on TikTok. So they're going to get some new fans from TikTok, but that doesn't, like, that's not going to take away the ones that they used to have. So I feel like that's actually the best possible scenario for an artist, is to have a long career and then sort of use TikTok as a way to like get sort of a second wave. Like, that's what I would want as an artist.
Song that was viral on TikTok. And it ends up leading to videos like what happened to Steve Lacy. The crowd is hyped for like 2 microseconds of the song and then silent for the next 3 minutes of the song. Only in 2022 can someone have a #1 Billboard charting song.
Right?
And
This is
also have people
crazy.
at their own concert who don't know the words to it.
Like, that is such a great example of kind of where the music industry is at now. That you could have a #1 song on Billboard and people don't know the words to the entire song. That is a uniquely TikTok thing. Like, it's not even about a song anymore. It's not even about like a verse or even a chorus. It might be only about 2 seconds of a 3-minute song and nobody cares about anything else you've done. That's a uniquely TikTok thing.
Honestly just boggles me how society is moving. TikTok has just truly set us back. But don't get it twisted, it's not just Steve Lacy that this happens to. It happens to so many music artists at this point that it's kind of just sad. And we can't forget about Miss Munch's career over here. It was the exact same scenario when Ice Spice was first blowing up. When I saw her first performing at her shows, it reminded me a lot of someone I bet a lot of you haven't heard of in ages. The name feels like it dates back to the Middle Ages. I'm talking about none other than Designer, aka that one nigga that made that Panda song. And what do these two both have in common? There was only one song to perform at their shows. Except somehow Ice Spice got it even worse than Designer did. I didn't know it was possible to stoop lower than
Designer fell off so hard. Panda, one of the biggest songs of the year, and then nothing ever since. And I feel like people People only know the hook in that song.
Designers type of one-hit wonder fame. It was to the point that people in her own concerts only knew the first 10 words of the song until going dead silent in the crowd. How is that even possible? She's the first ever one-verse wonder to exist on this planet.
One-verse
People just
wonder.
kept hearing the same thing everywhere on TikTok. So that's all they knew at her concerts. And half the time, let's be honest, they weren't even there for her music. They was waiting for her to shake.
Was first blowing up. Jesus Christ, it's been a month. I can't believe he's talking about Ice Spice in past tense already. Is everything moving that fast now? They are. It is moving that fast. I mean, a month on TikTok is like 100 years for, like, you know, adults my age, right? Like, a month on TikTok might as well be like, that's the distance between like the Civil War and like landing on the moon. That is how fast we move now. It's true.
Personally, I'm not going to an Ice Spice concert without expecting this to happen, or I'm getting a refund. But you know what? I'm not even putting any blame on these TikTok artists for the fate they're facing. It's mainly due to TikTok and fake fans. TikTok has made the whole media industry kind of change, and the music industry as well. Before TikTok, when you went to a concert for someone, everyone at least knew the words to their most popular song, even if it was someone that was a one-hit wonder. You can bet everyone was singing their songs word for word and bar for bar. Like,
at least if they were a one-hit wonder, they knew the one
back
hit.
In 2016, everyone in that crowd was singing back every single word. But now with TikTok, it's just not the same leisure. I guess it's just made people's attention span so dumb and low that they can't even remember the lyrics to someone's most popular song. Also, I don't understand how some of these people think. I swear, some of y'all.
But on the other hand, you know, are fans obligated to know the words? Like, why? Like, if you want people to know your whole song, you got to give them a reason to. Like, people are not obligated to listen to your whole song. If all you have to offer is just sort of one catchy phrase, you know, do you deserve a career? I would say no. So for like someone with like Ice Spice, for example, she clearly has potential. She's super charismatic. She's great looking. She has a cool voice. Like, there's definitely potential there. So to me, the question is, can you take that moment of viral fame that you got and turn that into like something a little bit more substantial and sustainable? That's the challenge for artists, which is tough because number one, it's hard enough to have like a viral breakthrough moment. Number two, it's even harder to turn that into a sustainable career.
I just like to waste your money to go to concerts and post the entire thing on your Instagram story. I feel like we don't skip that entire story. Like, I'm not watching that concert footage, little bro. But why would you go to a
Yeah, it's true. It seems like people don't even listen to music anymore. Do they just skip to the next song after they hear the popular 10 seconds? Yes, that is what people do. For better or for worse, that's just how it is. I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing, but it just is what it is. And as an artist, you can't get mad about it. You just have to take advantage of it for what it is.
Concert for someone that you can barely even remember a single song for. That's what's been confusing me. It's like paying the full $60 for a game and not looking at any gameplay of it before buying it other than the cover. But I think I've dwindled it down to this reason right here. My theory is that people are just really clout hungry and want to be as close as possible to someone with it. Getting any ounce of exposure by any means has kind of become the norm nowadays.
That's right.
And they'll even meet right to the point where something like this happens. Like, I knew we were doing when niggas started copying someone their entire career. The I Show Speed clone.
Like the Lil Durk clone. That's right, this guy.
Lil Durk clone. The Drake clone. I could go on. And you may be asking me, Tommy, what's the solution for this then, since you know so much about this? And I know. I usually have the answers to
the clout thing is so real. Like, people just want to be able to say that they were, well, not even say that they were at the show. People want to just be able to post a story or a TikTok that they were close to someone with clout. That's what it is. You know, you can hate that, you can love it, it doesn't matter. That's just the world we live in.
To every single problem that happens in this world. But for this time, I just have to say, I don't know. TikTok is only going to continue to keep growing. Music artists are going to continue to keep blowing up from TikTok, and there's nothing we can really do about it. Yeah, I never said I had a solution to this, bro. TikTok is pretty much a double-edged sword for music artists. It's good for the fact that you can basically go from being a complete nobody with no career to the next day blowing up and becoming the next biggest thing. But it's a bad thing because you have to think of things like longevity. How long is a song going?
It's true, but you know, he's too young to remember the bad old days of when, as an up-and-coming artist, you had to like spend thousands of dollars recording and printing CDs and like passing those out to people at shows and, you know, playing some fucking open mic to 17 people, you know, half of which weren't paying attention. So everything he's saying here is true, but I feel like people his age never knew how hard it was to get discovered in the world before the internet. And they may sort of take the discovery factor for granted, which I don't. I mean, getting discovered is the hardest part. So if I had to choose one or the other, I would say as an artist, as a creator, like what I value more than anything is I just want people to discover me. And then it's up to me to prove that I have something to say enough that they should stick around and follow me. But if you never even get the chance to be heard, then it doesn't matter how good your music is.
Going to last? How long are you going to stay relevant because of it? How long until people move on to the next thing? I don't think many artists have like a GTA heist plan just laid out and prepared in case if this happens to them. Also, I don't think it's easy to grow a true fan base when blowing up from a song on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's rare that you can keep up that momentum going from your first blow up. Although a lot of people I mentioned earlier has managed to keep up with it, there's so many artists that have one song blow up from TikTok and fade away into nothing. An example of somebody like this,
But I mean, that's better than nothing, right?
to somebody named Arizona Zavaris. Now, a lot of y'all may not even know
remember
that
him. He
name,
was good.
but he made this one song called Roxanne. And if you were
Good
on
song.
TikTok at the time, everyone was hearing that song Roxanne. And if you
He looks
compare
like
it to his
such a
new
fuckboy.
music, none of his songs have even gotten close to reaching the exact amount of fame that song got him. He's always going to be known as the dude that made that Roxanne song. And that's no disrespect to the guy. He actually does have a lot of good songs. They're just known as the people who made that quote-unquote TikTok song. Everyone
But I think it's a little bit of a false dichotomy here to say that if your other songs aren't as big as your viral hit, that you've failed. That's not true. Like, sure, maybe he's not going to be the next fucking, Doja Cat, but it's not like he's a failure. He still has a song with hundreds of millions of views, and that turns into something, right? So I think it's a little bit, especially in rap and pop, we set these like really high expectations for people where it's like, if you're not Doja Cat or Drake, you're a piece of shit. Like people said, if somebody's album comes out and it only hits number 8 on Billboard, they're like, oh, he flopped. Well, no, he still hit number 8 on Billboard.
is just gonna come up to them in public and be like, hey, yo, wait, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Aren't you that one nigga that made that TikTok song? I couldn't imagine how I would feel if everyone just referred to me as the guy who made that one TikTok song. I just wouldn't be able to live on this planet anymore. I'd rather wait years.
Isn't that better than people not knowing you for anything, though? I mean, I understand what he's saying, but a one-hit wonder is better than a no-hit wonder.
Build up a solid fan base than ever have that shit happen to me. But I guarantee that actual scenario has happened to one of these music artists before. So I don't know, man. The future for these music artists is not looking well. I feel like in the distant future, this is just gonna be the fate of every song. People are gonna know that one popular part from TikTok and not know a single word for the rest of the song. Anyways, that's the end.
So, really good video. I think he makes a lot of great points. My question is, like, where does this go? Like, are we eventually just gonna listen to like 1 second of a song? Like, is there any way that our attention spans could get any shorter? I don't know. But to me, although I agree with everything he said, I think ultimately TikTok does give people the chance to be discovered, which I think every artist would agree is the most difficult thing, right? Like, how do you just get people to hear your shit in the first place? You're like, please, bro, just give me a chance, bro. Please, bro, listen to my song, bro. TikTok does that. You are only one TikTok away from like sitting on your couch in your underwear, just making one TikTok could be the thing that gets you 100 million views in a week. Now, does that turn into a sustainable career? Not necessarily, but at least you have a shot. So I would say, ultimately, it's a good thing for artists, but I do agree with everything he said. I think it's a really good video. And I am interested to see kind of where the TikTok effect goes from here. And shout out to Tommy NFG. Definitely give him a view if you haven't.